Okay, people. So we have another new Shudder original, and it's called The Seed. It's a little different, right? What when I say it's a little different, it's a little different take on an old school kind of horror sci-fi concept, which is invasion. Yes. So it is written and directed by Sam Walker. Okay. And it is produced by Chris Hardman, Matt Hookings, James Norrie, and Paul Parker. It's executive produced by Peter Dutton, Peter Hampton, Chris, John Jennings, Jamie Jessup, Nina Kakuri, Michael Lee, Norman Merry, Joe Simpson, Inda Paul Singh, Simon Williams, and Kathleen Debinicat, who line produces. Music is from Lucrea Dort. Cinematography is handled by Ben Branham Zizab. It's edited by Barry Mune. Production design is Dave Arrowsmith. Art direction is John Bamthorpe. And costume design is Francisco Rodriguez Well. Okay, so our cast. Okay, so we have Heather, whose dad owns the house. Right, Heather is played by Sophie Vavassor. Um, then there is this social media star, Deirdre, played by Lucy Martin. And then there's Charles, who's played by Chelsea Edge. Her actual name is Charlotte. And as I said, I've never heard Charlotte abbreviated to Charles. That I thought that was interesting. I mean, interesting to a point, right? So we've got Brett, who is played by Jamie Whitboard. Edna, who's played by Shirley Pisani. And then the cowboy sheriffy dude, who's played by Anthony Edridge. So the gist of the story is this: lifelong, lifelong friends Deirdre, Heather, and Charlotte are finally getting some time away together, using the upcoming meteor shower to gather more followers for their social media channels. Well, I mean, technically, I only, you know what I mean, Deirdre and Heather social media channels. Um, yes, but what starts out as a girls' getaway in the Majav desert descends into a battle for survival with the arrival of an invasive alien force whose air of mystery soon proves to be alluring and irresistible to them. Before long, the situation devolves into a battle to the death, where the stakes have galaxy wide implications. Woo! How about that one, people? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, we start off with the girls, right? They've arrived at this big ass house, and old Evers is like, oh yeah, it's just my dad's house. It's nothing really, So it's just like, the way the other half live, right? But she's got like mindfulness social media channel. I feel it's not really mentioned that much. The main person whose social is kind of talked about is Deirdre, because I'm a model, load of followers, and she's all about I'm gonna live stream this, I'm gonna do a photo shoot. I want to capture, I'm going to live stream us watching a meteor, all of that kind of thing. All right, so that's the main kind of focus. And then there's old Charlotte, who has got an older phone, right? So she doesn't have the apps and all of that on there. She's not on social media. She just enjoys reading. She's got a full-time job, right? So completely different to the others. Now, they all went to school together, but Charlotte and Heather are the two that are they're the closest, right? They're the best friends. You like Deirdre and Heather seem to be good friends, but Charlotte's a bit on the outskirts, as it were, just because she probably don't live that life, you know what I mean? So we had them, and then this meteorite strike comes. So they're watching it. The phones are now no longer work, so there's all of this, but there's something different about these meteors, and one crashes into the pool, right? And that's where the story kind of really unfolds, because it's just like this whole, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Everything's going crazy. And it's interesting in the way they kind of cover it, right? Because as I said, look, we've seen these invasion movies before, where it's just like people running for their lives and, you know, trying to avoid these things and kill them and just do all of this stuff, right? But this is more, it's more in a kind of psychological, slow drip kind of way, because we don't really see a lot at first, right? And then as things kind of unfold from there, our first indication of something maybe being awry is a kiss, right? Is a kiss. And something weird is going on, but there's nothing overt to put your finger on it, right? And that's a little odd. But then as time, like there's these weird dreams and sleeplessness, right? And some of the attitudes. Now, some people's attitudes are already a little bit stink, right? But they seem to amplify, seem to get worse, which is a thing. And we then get these very trippy sequences, right? These very trippy sequences. And you wonder within those, right? Is this actually happen? Is this a dream state? Is this a psychological kind of mind fuck? What is going on? But it's just the way everything, it's like in this dark, and then just the certain things are lit, and it's just like, oh, it's trippy as fuck. It's real trippy. So you kind of wondering like, oh, what's the extent of this? What's happening? Then you have thoughts of some other kind of invasion traits, you know, body snatching and just all this kind of stuff. And you're kind of, oh, you're gripped. You're wondering how all of this is going to unfold. So Walker does a really good job, I feel, of giving you that suspense, right? Because as I said, it's not action packed, but it's kind of that look at social behavior. You know what I mean? Like the way we treat people, you know? That seems to be a big thing. The way we treat people, and the way we kind of carry ourselves, you know, the views on society, right? The views on looking after those weaker than ourselves, right? Which, who knows, right? That could be the thing. That could be the thing that, yeah, makes a difference. But it kind of shows us all of this. And then at the end, the end. See, there's a thing at the end with our cowboy sheriffy dude, which you're gonna kind of like, what's wrong with you, son? What the fuck happened? Like, you have binoculars. Are you an asshole? You know, you're just like, yo, dude, my man, what are you doing? All right. But oh, then it gets even crazier. It gets even crazier. And I love the thing at the end of the, you know, just just a little kind of ooh, because yeah, like when they see this initial meteor strike, right? There's a lot of implications, and then the end kind of just does a thing. So it's just this intriguing look at things, right? And we see films like A Quiet Place, which you know, that itself did something a little different with the kind of trope, right? You know, Blind, Bird Box, that's it, Blind. But I was thinking Blind Eye, no, Bird Box, right? That was, again, that was a little something different. So it's always interesting when we get these films that want to kind of bring this new lens, you know, to a genre, right? And you know, I think what am I saying? I'm saying like social media, right? That's, we've seen that, right? Played out with certain films, right? I believe gosh, what was it now? It was another Shudder. So I think it was Shook, right? If I remember correctly, I believe Shook had that one followed the social media stars doing their craziness, and then it all went a little wrong, right? All went a little wrong, as it were. Or maybe it was lucky, right? Actually, I don't think it was lucky. I do believe it was Shook. Um, but people, you know, hey, just check the reviews. And check the reviews. And if you've been doing what I've been telling you, you will have Shudder. So you can just flick through, right? You can flick through because boy, either film was very good, you know? So yeah, but you know, that gave us this, and it's interesting. It's interesting the way they kind of play it up because it's slightly different. You know what I mean? It in itself is slightly different to what we've seen in other films. So, hey, I enjoyed The Seed. Right? I did. Yeah, I like the way they kind of hooked you. I like the way they hooked you, people. So, as mentioned, it's a Shudder original. So yeah, people, if you've got the platform, and you know, right? We've been covering this Shudder shit for a while, right? So you know all the great things that are on there. You know what I mean? So hey, you can enjoy all of those things. So yeah, go check it out. Go check it out because you know there is plenty to keep you hooked. And yeah, I think you're gonna enjoy, you know, what the seed be sowing. Yeah, people, I said it. I know. But yeah, it's an interesting one. And yeah, I think Walker does a great job, and our cast as well, because there's these manic sequences, right? There are these manic kind of sequences, And yeah, Lucy, Lucy Martin, Sophie Vasva, they do a great job of just, yeah, giving off these crazy ass performances. And then Chelsea, she has to play it in a way where she's like in this thing, but then she's slightly aloof, right? Slightly aloof. She's got more of a caring nature, right? But it has to be balanced, right? It can't be too over the top. Right? And yeah, they really, I feel they really handled it well. So people, The Seed is out now on Shudder. Go check it out.